so after I took my pre-workout and put on my pre-gym jams, I just got to the gym and started to do a warm-up. I opted for some burpees. I usually do some bike, like 5 to 10 minutes, but my body felt a little tight today, only because like it's getting colder outside, so I felt like my muscles needed a little bit more activation and a good stretch. So I did some stretching and I was working out my back today. So I just also try to do a little bit of yoga moves to just open up my back and shoulders so I wouldn't injure myself in any way. So I just started with my standard back workout. I did pull downs with a wider grip so I can target my lats. And then I moved for a narrow grip to then focus on the middle of my back to get that beautiful butterfly muscle that everyone loves to have. And then I moved to individual lat pull downs so I could also just focus that muscle group and just get a good flare, so then I could have that upside down triangle effect, giving like females a more narrow waist, or also guys, like anyone can do this. But yeah, again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I just do 4 sets of like 10 to 14 reps, or I just do more to see if I can push myself. I also only do like 15 to 20 pounds. And then I moved to this one. I actually don't know the name for this, but it also just targets like the middle of your back and also like around your shoulder blades, and it just gives like a nice like cut definition. And again, I also just do, I think I'm doing like 15 to 20 pounds here, 4 reps of like 10 to 15 or more. Then I transitioned to this variation of like a lat pull down, but at a standing position. I don't know the name of this one either, but it does really work like the inside of your back and your lats, and it just gives it a nice look, and when you look in the mirror, like your muscles just pop. So it's really cool, but yeah, the same rep and weight for these. I did 30 minutes of cardio on the stairs to end it off, and I made myself a vegan protein shake, 20 grams of protein. And then I also have been loving this sous vide maker that I got for Christmas, and these new chips I discovered called popcorners that are so healthy. Alright, so hi everyone. Thank you again for clicking on this video. My name's Beba, and I'm happy to have you guys here today. I am just going to be putting on my makeup and talking to you guys, but I have been like wanting to film YouTube for like a really long time, only because like growing up, even to this day, like obviously I watch like a lot of YouTube videos. Like that's all even right now I was watching Graham Stephan. So like I'm always on YouTube, and I always thought it would be so much fun to watch YouTube videos. No, I thought it'd be so much fun to create YouTube videos. Not that my life is like anything exciting or like different or anything, but like neither is a lot of the people that I watch. It's very exciting, but I often feel like people that I do watch do display like their best aspects of their life, like all of the highlights. So it's basically a highlight reel. And like when I was trying to film the videos, I felt like I was just trying to show like the best parts of my life, and like that would be, and I'd always feel like I had to go do something interesting in order to make my videos seem like they're so real and cool, but I also had to make it seem authentic. Like that's exactly how my day-to-day life is. Not that like my videos were anything interesting either. Well, like going back to like how sometimes these people post their like highlight reels on their YouTube videos, when they like mention things like, oh, it's been a rough day, or like it's been a rough week, and they like describe like what's going on with them, it really makes them feel more like human and relatable, how like they originally started off as, in my opinion. So And I do see a shift of a lot of YouTubers like getting back into that, like getting back into what's real, not so much of a highlight reel, but not completely. But so I never knew like what kind of videos I wanted to put out there for everyone to see. And I felt like I was like trying out a lot. I tried Vlogmas, but like nothing really interesting happens. I really just stay home and like do things that like are not interesting, you know? So like I couldn't really videotape that much. So I kind of gave up on that. And then I had a thought, because I also like to watch Gains by Brains, and she's like a fitness YouTuber who also focuses on mental health and like shows you her workouts, and also describes like how it's important to not only take care of your body physically but also mentally. And I really like her content and how it's filmed and everything. I just want to start creating content that maybe it isn't something that everyone wants to see, but it's like what I'm going through, and it's actually things that I can film, because then I would have something to film, because it would actually be my life, like my reality. Lately, I have felt since COVID started that I've been in like a rut. I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel like my life was put on pause, and every day kept passing by, but I was just stagnant. And the perfect way that like I can describe that feeling is, if anyone's watched Twilight, I think it's like the first, second, or third movie, when she's like sitting in when her and Edward first break up, she's sitting in the chair, and then it just shows her like the camera's like going around her, and it shows all the months, like January, and then the seasons change in February, and it just shows how like time kept moving forward, but she never did, because like she didn't know where he was and everything. Well, that's basically like how I felt. I felt like I really let, obviously I couldn't do anything, but I really let like COVID stop me from doing things, because like we really couldn't do anything, you know? And it's not like I live in a town that has mountains where I can go hiking and there's rivers and all that fun stuff and everything. Like I have to drive 3 hours, 4 hours away to go do those things. And I can't really do that all the time, because one, it gets expensive, and two, I work. So I can pick up and go because I work remote, but it is really hard to just pick up and go, because I have like my whole setup here and everything, and I work so much more efficiently with my setup. So I couldn't really do much, and all there really is to do here, since there's nothing else, is to party. And like that is exactly the opposite of what I wanted to do while there's massive COVID outbreaks, you know? So, and then the gyms were closed, and then I felt uncomfortable. Like no one really knew what COVID was and what was gonna happen. So like I was just scared to do anything, and I felt like I let that fear take over me. And I used to be like this fearless, super independent girl or woman, right? And I just let like the past 2 years, what feels like 2 years or is 2 years, turn me into something like so fragile, and I felt like I lost a lot of like who I was and like my motivation in a lot of things. And I also feel like a lot of people are going through that, but no one's really talking about it, only because like I do see like some people talk about it, but then like they don't want to admit it or things like that. And like I never wanted to admit it either. I never wanted to see like myself like, you know, no longer do the things that I love to do and like losing myself, because like that takes a lot to admit to yourself. But I feel like I have to admit it and like have to really look at it in its face and start doing things that I love to do. And that's like taking the gym very seriously. I used to work out all the time, and like I used to see progress, and I used to be so much leaner and so much stronger mentally and physically, and all that has gone away. So the point of me bringing all of this up is because I want to make a series of like, or I want to start making videos where if anyone's also feeling like that,
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Series up. You're not alone, or like someone could give me advice or something. And I think it would just be so great for me to look back at this video or something, I don't know, and be like, wow, like growth. If I ever feel like I'm going back to where I don't want to be, I can always like watch this video and be like, Beba, like you have worked so much. Like don't give up on like your motivation and positivity. And I just want to like tell myself like it's okay, you know, take a deep breath, take each day by day, and like let's focus on mental health, physical health, everything about ourselves, so we won't go back there again. Because right now Omicron, the COVID variant, is at a high, and like a lot of things are shutting down again. Quarantining might happen, like mass quarantining might happen again in cities, and like all of that just makes me really sad, only because I can't do anything. And like how I said that there's not much for me to do in like my hometown because there's no mountains, rivers, or anything for me to do outside activities. I also got plantar fasciitis, and for the past like year and a half, I have been like battling with trying to heal my calf and my foot, because like it's part of your calf that tenses and like causes your foot to hurt. And I used to love to go running, and I can't even do that either. So I feel like I have been put in a box and I can't do anything right now. And I got a Peloton because I could not run, but it's not the same. Like I promise you, like it's just not the same. Just running, I can just like space out or just be with myself and focus, meditate. Like running was like me time, me, my music, and like the outdoors. And I love to be outside so much. But yeah, I feel like talking about what is exactly happening and like trying to improve myself, and maybe whoever's watching this can like also get some motivation. Maybe you guys could realize like, oh, I felt very cloudy these past couple months. Maybe I'm also in a rut. Like, let's build positive, healthy habits. Start journaling. Let's start doing things that make us happy. Like make time to read that book that you've always wanted to read. Make time to do your hair even though you're not going anywhere because you work at home now. You know, like make time to start baking like you've always wanted to. Like I have always wanted to bake, always, and I felt like I never could. And now like I have my own space, and I haven't even baked anything until the past week. I made brownies and I was so happy. Serotonin levels were up the roof. But you know, like let's start doing more things to focus on ourselves instead of letting like all of the negative things that you see on TV and or on social media, like, oh, this is so bad, and like all the craziness in politics. Like I don't want to let that affect me anymore. I want to be able to just, I'm gonna go on a run, I'm gonna go check the mail, and I'm not gonna let that negativity cloud my brain like I used to allow it to. But now I'm just finished getting ready. I did my makeup for the day, just pretty simple. I am going to go to the mall because today's New Year's Eve, and I don't know why I'm going to. Oh, I have to exchange some shoes. That's what it is. I got some Nike Air Max 270s and a 7.5, and they run very, very, very small. Like my toe is hitting the top, and it's not comfortable at all. So, and for the price that they are, I'm not gonna just like suck up the pain. I'm gonna exchange them. So I cleaned them up to make it look like I didn't try them on or anything, because sometimes they're so mean about exchanging shoes. So we're gonna do that, and I'll keep you guys updated. I kind of forgot to film the rest of the day, but I got home and I began to paint. The deal with the shoes, they did accept the shoes back, and they just have to ship me the shoes to my house only because they didn't have any in stock. So as the new year has started and we're welcoming January, I thought it would be a great time to go ahead and take some time and reflect on all of my goals for January, all of the birthdays coming up, and everything that I want to achieve by the end of this month. and also for the rest of 2022. And I also wrote down some of my goals for 2022, and I can read some of them out loud. So I really want to focus on YouTube. I tried dibbling in it last year, but I feel like I didn't give it my all. And so for this year, I really want to get good at editing and getting used to more software, because currently I'm using iMovie and I feel like I'm kind of stuck in the past and I'm limited on what I would want to do. And I really want to try new effects and everything. My goal is also to try to get 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We're also planning on traveling to Paris, so I really hope we can still do that, and I hope that COVID will die down by then. And as well as working out 5 times a week and continue eating healthy, because I've been on track so far and I'm very proud of myself. And as well as spending quality time with myself and the people around me, not just time that I feel like I have to be there and I'm like spacing out half of it, but just quality time that I'll then go back to my home and be glad that I went. I also want to go on more hikes and outdoor walks, so I want to plan more like bigger trips to other states and go hiking there, and put more effort into that and not just take advantage of having the ability to drive a couple hours around Texas and just hike there. I would also love to create a side hustle and a business and just put a lot of my energy towards that. As well, I love to paint, so I want to at least paint one portrait a month. So I need to start painting because it's already the 4th and I need to get on it on the one that I'm working on right now. So yeah, those are some of my goals for 2022, and I do want to put all of this in a mood board, so maybe I'll film myself doing that in the future. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's watching this video this far. I was trying to get creative with like cinematic shots and everything right here. But again, thank you so much for sticking around, and I would appreciate it if you guys could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you guys can see some more content. I plan on pushing out a lot more this year, and I'm so happy and looking forward to seeing you guys more often this year. All right, bye guys.